Hasn't changed much. Personally, I just try to come here and be the best leader and best teammate I can be, and work hard and get to just develop relationships with these guys. It's been super fun so far. Great group of guys. They work really hard, eager to get better. So we're excited to start competing against somebody else.
Brad, you scrimmaged Loyola obviously recently. The team that played, you guys are a really experienced team last year. This year's completely different. What did this group and you learn about itself in that scrimmage against Loyola, things that you guys need to work on?
It's definitely a different dynamic. They had 4 seniors and a junior out there in their starting lineup, and they've been playing together for quite some time and have had a lot of success. But I loved what we brought to the table. People were working really hard, we're playing physical. We might have made some mistakes. They're young mistakes, but those are easily correctable, and especially will correct themselves with time. So a lot of different things from the defensive end. Just trying to make sure we're all on the same page and communicating and moving as a unit, and so maybe not getting consumed with our man, but being consumed with ball. And again, those things like that just take time. The defensive end, in the offensive end, just continuing to move, continue to stay sharp. And if you get tired or things don't go your way, just keep playing. It's a long game. So all things that will be easily correctable, especially with time.
How do you bond with these new guys, these new players, these new faces?
I'm loving it. They keep me young in so many ways. If it was up to them, they just keep playing and playing and playing. I gotta hold myself back sometimes. But it's been so much fun, getting to know them. And these are experiences that I've had, for the last 4 years. But I get to experience, the first time they do drills, the first time they do lifts, the first time they go to these restaurants and do these things. So it keeps me young. It gives me a new perspective, on campus and just on this basketball program and playing at this level. So I've been grateful for it.
What insider tips do you give as far as where to go on campus?
Oh, I got a lot of good tips. I have a lot of different favorite restaurants. It just kind of depends on the mood and the vibe of what we're going. But my favorite restaurant, I love Forage. That's where I might go to quite a bit on State Street. But pre-game, I go to Tudo's Pasta. That's a good spot too. Can't give out all my secrets.
It looks like Johnny's handling the ball a little bit more this year and being more of a primary decision maker. Obviously, he was a little more scoring-minded last year, but what do you like about him in that role in terms of, when defenders try and swarm him and, made a couple nice passes today?
Yeah, he's very dynamic with the ball. He can score at all 3 levels, and he can get places that not a lot of players, even at this level, can get to just because of his quickness and his athletic ability. And so that makes a big difference of him getting downhill. It creates a lot of attention and creates people to help, which then, if he's able to find the open guy, it's going to work for our advantage.
Going from Trice to Davis, do you have to tweak your game at all to accommodate what he does, or do you kind of feel like, your role stays the same?
I don't really look at it as a change between 2 players. I kind of heads up. Good shot, Matt Marcus. Good job, Mark. Personally, I don't really look at it as a change between one player and another player. I'm playing with a completely new group of guys. So a lot of things change, little things, but at the end of the day, it's still basketball. You go out there and you work as hard as you can, and you leave it all up their floor and try to do everything you can to help your team.
I think Johnny's going to make a pretty big jump from sophomore year.
Absolutely. He's put the time in, his mentality, just his downhill mentality and super aggressiveness. Not many people, it's going to be tough for people to stay in front of him. His ability to get to the rim and not only finish at the rim, but over the rim and on the rim is really dynamic and special. So I think he's definitely going to take a big jump along with a lot of my teammates. So I'm excited to follow along and see their jump.
What have been some of the challenges coming from playing on a team that was so senior heavy to playing on a team where it's a lot of young guys, especially for you personally, kind of being in both the middle of both of them?
Yeah, I think the challenge is that you kind of go back to the basics. And so you go back to the basics with basic drills, the basic parts of our offense, the basic principles of our defense. But along with that challenge, there's also a lot of really good opportunity for us to, build new habits and build new standards and kind of start from the ground up, to say. The challenges, they come and go every year, but especially with a young team, it also creates a lot of opportunity too. So we're trying to take advantage of that.
And how has going back to the basics kind of impacted your game personally?
A lot of different. I think first of all, just playing with a different group of guys. You find different ways to score. You try to play off their habits and figure out where they're going to be. But even just going back to the basics of our offensive principles, whether it's back screens and up screens and different swing concepts. You find new ways to score and new ways to get open. So just kind of dimming back down has helped me kind of rebuild my game too on the offensive side of the floor. So I'm excited.
Brad, 2 of the young guys, Coleman and Heffern, back in practice now. I'm just curious, what do you expect to see from them Friday? And do you think it's going to take some time for those guys to get integrated into things?
Yeah, you know, I think Friday, hopefully we can see a lot of everybody. You know, it's gonna be the first time we have 3 guys, I think, on our team that have actually played in front of fans, and 2 guys that have played in front of fans in here, besides for like a high school state tournament. So I think the biggest thing with Friday is just going to get people in front of fans on the Kohl Center in that environment again. And even as a 5th-year senior, I'm super excited for that. It might take some time to get used to. But no, with those guys, I think they both bring so much to the table. You know, Lowe's ability, Bowman's ability to just change a pace, get downhill, really creative scorer, and Chucky's ability to defend. You know, he really values the defensive side of the ball, and then his ability to get downhill and get to place and find open guys. So they both kind of bring a little something different, and we'll see, you know, how coach integrates them into the rotation and into the swing of things. But I'm excited. There's a lot of different guys. Those 2 guys, plus the rest of the guys on the team that bring a lot to the table. So again, I'm excited to see how it all plays out.
Hey Brad, 2-parter to go along with that. How long have you and your teammates been looking forward to Friday? I know it's not going to count in a win-loss record, but is it like the first day of school because you waited so long? And then the second part to that is, how much emphasis do you put on an exhibition game this year versus where you have 5 freshmen and 2 transfers versus a team that brought back 5 starters or something like that?
Right, yeah, you know, these are kind of the dog days, as we like to say, where you just beat up on each other day in and day out, and you lift and you practice, you lift and you practice, and you press repeat. You never really get to play against somebody else in a New Jersey, so whenever you get that opportunity, it's a big deal, no matter who it is, and we're super excited and thankful to have that opportunity. And that's every year. These exhibition games, these close scrimmages, but especially this year. I know not a lot of these guys were here to experience what went on last year, playing in an arena that looked a lot like the one we're standing in right now. But it just kind of creates more anticipation, more excitement, and for me, just a lot of gratitude, you know, to be out here playing with this group of guys, playing in this arena, playing in front of fans, get my family, my friends, my fiance, like everyone in the arena. I'm super excited. I don't care if it's exhibition, postseason. You get to play the game of basketball at this level. It's a pretty special time.
What do you like about what you've seen from Jacoby, and what are you expecting him to bring this year?
Jacoby's been great. You know, I think he brings a lot to both sides of the floor. Defensively, he's very physical, communicates. I think that's one of the most underrated skills somebody can have on the defensive side of the ball, is the willingness to communicate and talk and not only hold each other accountable, but get people in the right spots. And so from somebody who has some playing experience at this higher level, you know, that goes a long ways. And then offensively, he's great around the rim. You know, he can use his left, use his right hand, and again, he's strong with his, you know, just his physical presence. So he brings a lot to the table, and he's definitely going to be a big factor for us this year.
How would you describe Guard's coaching style, and has it changed with the amount of youth on the team?
Yeah, I think it's changed a little bit, just because like I said, we're kind of going back to the basics with a lot of things, you know, offensively and defensive principles. So we're doing a lot of different drills this year, which is a little different coaching strategy. But at the same time, we're holding people to a high standard and holding people accountable and making sure that he's really demanding a lot of these guys, which is really good. And the great thing about this group is that's what they want. They want to be pushed, they want to be held accountable, and they're eager to learn and get better. So. You know, I think just the biggest difference is we're going back to the basics with a lot of things, and so yeah, we're excited.